Hello and welcome to the Krabby Changing Room Chat. This week we asked you which game you would like to see, and the vote came back for Fiji 2018, a high-scoring affair at BT Murrayfield. We're joined by the current Scotland captain, Stuart Hogg, and once again by John Manson out in Washington. Right, before we go to Hoggy, Pump, so you've done a bit of research into this game. Can you give us a bit of insight as to what we can expect on Friday night?
Yeah, I had a look at this game. It was an absolute belter at Murrayfield. But firstly, I've got to say about Hoggy's hair. It is looking absolutely magnificent. Every time I see him, it's an unbelievable height. Unbelievable height. Is there any tips for the lockdown hairdo, Hoggy? If you've got for anybody?
Yeah, I think over the last couple of years, I might have had a little bit of work done. I don't know. You tell me. I have a number for you if you would like it. But yeah, I'm actually surprised during lockdown it's not falling out. I haven't spent as much time with Jill and the kids. But yeah, I've got some luscious locks back, and I'm enjoying it.
The game, as I said, was an absolute belter. First half, a real warrior attrition. Things that stand out for me for that game, Hoggy, was there was a bit of local interest. We had Big Bill Mata, we had Big Leone, so Edinburgh and Glasgow fans would have been delighted to see them. The rise of young Horney and young Adam Haistow coming through, getting on the international scene, and of course everybody's best pal Tommy Seymour getting his hat-trick that day. It was a great occasion for Tommy. He was delighted, as we all know, the smiler. But for him to run in 3 tries was great for him, and it was a good time in his life, great time as a player for Scotland.
Okay, what about the game itself? So we mentioned there already that Tommy managed to pull a hat-trick out of the bag, but what other standout moments for you other than that game? You were just back, weren't you? You'd been injured, you just got yourself back.
So that was my first game back for injury. Yes, another injury that I had along the way. I remember the build-up to this week and being really quite nervous for numerous reasons. One, I was just coming back fit, and it was going to be my first game back. But two, the calibre of player that we were going to be coming up against. I think, look at Bill Mata, Leone, Semi RADRADRA, Vola. These are big names and quality rugby players, and we knew going up into this game that we'd have to be at our best for 80 minutes to get the result. And I think, the kind of first half, as you say, it was a ding-dong battle. I think we were actually, until Tommy scored just before half-time, we were getting beat. So, yeah, it was a hugely physical encounter. It was fairly loose at times as well. I'm not sure who it suited better, them or us, but I enjoyed it. It was great to be back. Another occasion at BT Murrayfield to be involved in, and the boys loved it.
So John mentioned that Big Leone was playing for Fiji, the guy that you obviously know very well from your days at Glasgow. Did you manage to get a hold of him in that game, or did you spend the game trying to avoid him?
Yeah, probably try to avoid him. I think, like everything, we knew how Leone played. We knew that we had to get a lot of numbers around him and try and trap the ball at the earliest opportunity, because he has the ability, as we all know, to take 3 or 4 guys on and still manage to get the ball away. So, yeah, I think we managed to keep him fairly quiet. Did we concentrate on him a little bit too much? Probably. It allowed other boys to get into the game. I think Bill Mata scored off one of our mistakes and run through our backline and beat a few boys along the way. So, we knew it was going to be a tricky test match, and I think it actually took us till about half-time to get a feel for how we were trying to play and what they were giving us, and maybe a rocket up the backside as well at half-time kind of helped us as well. But as I say, we knew it was going to be tough, and full credit to Fiji for the first 40 minutes especially.
I see the chair that you're sitting on. I was kind of organising the jerseys that I've got up in the kind of eaves. My wife decided that over 100 was too many, and I found Big Leone's jersey from that game. And I'll be honest, I had to look back and see if it was Leone's, because it was prior to him coming to Glasgow. But it is Leone's. So I sent my message and looking at that nice chair you're sitting at, I got a couple of special memories in it for you.
Yeah, it has. This is a chair that I've had made up with jerseys that I've swapped through my career. It's always a special occasion to swap your opposite number, and I think I've got France here, an Italian, South Africa, Ireland, Argentina, Wales on the back. People that I've got a lot of respect and admiration for. So I wanted to make something special. So I made up this chair, and I'm really, really chuffed with it.
You and your wife Jill, you occasionally partake in a little Krabby's gin, don't you?
We do. Well, no, it's good to be professional. It's also good to enjoy yourself, and there's nothing better than Jill and I settling down, having a couple of gins together, and it's not often we get to do it just the two of us. Sometimes the kids go to bed at the right time, all three of them, and we can chill out a bit. But we do enjoy it. It's
a perfect storm, isn't it? When you get all the kids at the same time going to bed, and it's like, wow, there's still a bit of this day left. Yeah, you kind of sit for the next kind of half an hour on edge, though. One of them might come back down the stairs, and you're just, kind of try to find your feet a little bit. But as soon as that half hour's gone, and they're definitely not coming back down, you can relax and unwind and enjoy a few drinks. Going back, a conversation on the playing against teams that have got mates in it. Do you enjoy that element of it? Like, you have done it a bit now, obviously, with the Chiefs playing Glasgow in the last year or so. Is that something that you look forward to, or would you rather play against a team that you can just put to one side completely as far as any relationships you've got?
I guess through time you come up against like an old teammate or somebody you know really quite well from tours you've been on or whatever, but nothing compares to playing against your former team. I tell you what, the boys knew exactly how I play, what riles me up, and they managed to do that incredibly well. I would
have loved to have played against you.
Honestly, I think Wilson just spent 80 minutes down at Sandy Park chasing after me. And I think we were on a switch at one point, and it was a dummy cut, and I was coming under, and Wilson bit down for me. And thankfully, I didn't get the ball because he was literally he was just waiting on me. And as I ran up to him without the ball, he kind of laughed in my face and said I was lucky. So it was pretty. As I said, it was weird to play against Glasgow again, but to go back to Scotstoun was pretty cool. And that was a brilliant game of rugby to be involved in as well. And unfortunately, the kick hit the crossbar at the end. That'd have been pretty cool to have stuck that one over after the banter I received off the fans.
That's a big moment, that, Hoggy. And everybody speaks about that, and the comment of whether you'd be delighted or whether you'd be gutted if it went over. What's the truth? What's the truth?
Look, I'd have been chuffed because at the end of the day I was there to play for the Chiefs, and I think then if I got that kick over, Glasgow were out of Europe straight away. So it would have been bittersweet, don't get me wrong, but I think from my personal point of view, it had gone down as my biggest kick. And the problem is, Pump, as you know me, you and I suffer from a little bit of OCD, and I can't kick from with the line behind the ball, so I pulled it back a yard, and the crossbar's only yay thick. I managed to pull it. So, but now look, it was special to be back at Glasgow. Would it have capped it off a little bit better, nailing the kick? Yeah, probably.
Well, Stuart, it's been absolutely brilliant to have you on. Looking ahead, Friday's game against Fiji, a fantastic game with two brilliant teams involved in it from the point of view from Fiji, with Big Leone and Big Bill Mata involved in that game as well. Plenty for the Glasgow and Edinburgh fans to keep their eye on. So everybody enjoy the game, and Stuart, thank you very much for coming on.
Cheers guys, take care.
Well, we've been looking forward to this one. Welcome, or as you say in Fiji, Bula. Fiji ranked 10th in the world, their last meeting up as a squad before their World Cup 2019 preparations. This could be really tough. Are we looking at an upset? Now the Thimbi, a dance performed to celebrate warring with and killing neighbours in the Pacific Islands, A flag hoist for each enemy killed. The words, get ready, look here, I attack your defenses. Brilliant stuff. Alongside me, Chris Patterson, this is going to be a really big game.
Yeah, as you see the emotion of everyone involved, the Fijian supporter, Scottish supporter, the players, Ben Volavola, the Fijian number 10. I'm look there. We're going to have a look at the teams now, John.
Well, this is the pack. Exeter lock Sam Skinner handed his debut, 23 years old. He played 9 games for England under 20s, qualifies for Scotland through his Scottish father, Jock Strauss, back in the fold. Stuart Hogg, fullback, refreshed after an ankle operation. Finn Russell at 10 on a pitch, seemingly twinned at the waist to his long passes. He partners Greg Laidlaw at scrum half. Adam Hastings keeping a seat warm after Cardiff a week ago. This is where we'll get the exciting stuff, I think. The big man, Leone Nakarawa, the forward to focus on, master of the offload, of course. He and Russell, teammates in Paris, they share the top offload stats in the top 14 in France. Mata plays for Edinburgh. And as Sarah was saying, Gregor Townsend, the coach, talks about the Fijians as the Brazilians of rugby. Plenty of sidesteps, plenty from the likes of Talabua and Gonova in the wings, Radradra and Vatambua in the centres. 5 of these backs play for top French clubs. And the referee is Mr. Andrew Brace from Ireland, former Belgian rugby international. Come on, Chris, your prediction.
Well, as I said before, there's so much attacking talent in the Fijian side, but I believe international games of rugby are won as a team, and the cohesion that Scotland have with the more time spent together may just see them through.
Well, as the lads in the studio were saying, Fiji beat Scotland 27-22. The last time they met, that was in 2017. Weather in Fiji today, 27 degrees. Here in Edinburgh, rain forecast, and it's 10 degrees. Gilchrist takes it up. Laidlaw at the heels of his pack, finds Russell. Russell checks, up and under.
Advantage.
Knocked on, yeah. Fiji have the ball, play advantage.
Last feet, Blue.
Lamani is 9, he's hovering there, he's got some talent in Volavola outside. He takes it to the forwards, the big men truck up.
Stay. Advantage over.
Yeah, you don't want to give Fiji too much possession from turnover. The first kick from Scotland didn't go to hand, and you can see already the Fijians trying to offload, trying to get their hands free in the tackle, and winning the first penalty.
You can tell the crowd's quiet.
Knock on. 6 playing on the ground, yeah.
Everyone's waiting to see what happens here, because if this is I mean, the bookies have all got
6 playing on the floor.
Scotland to win by 16, but many of these players play top-level rugby. You've got Matavesi, you've got Mafu.
Shot called.
Oh, they're a quality bunch of individuals. So much attacking talent to start with. Abdullah trying to get his hands free. It's number 6
good, mate.
from Scotland, Ryan Wilson, being penalised for handling the ground there. You see his left hand, he's off his feet, he's trying to work the ball back, but it came from
it went backwards.
Kind of master stroke from Fiji to start with. They flew up on Finn Russell's outside when he was looking to pass, and then shut off that pass, so Finn then was forced to kick high, and the Fijians dealt with a kick. It was Ritchie that couldn't quite hold it for Scotland, and it was the first attack to the Fijians.
Yep, the first kick will be from Ben Volavola, Racing 92, Australian born and bred. And one of the big kickers in world rugby. He can send it downfield, as they say.
It's Finn Russell's club mate at Racing
92. He's playing centre, isn't he, mostly?
Yeah, and he's probably second string to Finn in all honesty, so that they help each other in their goal kicking. Finn was telling me, so I hope he's not helped him too much of late from a Scottish perspective. Lamani
then, left of centre, there's the view. Nice relaxed couple of steps, sets it in the right direction, and Fiji go into the lead. A penalty to Lamani. This is not going to be an easy afternoon.
No,
this is going to be a hard game.
No, every international test, and especially one when you're up against so many brilliant individuals. But that's a brilliant kick from Ben Vola. You've got the whole expectation in the first 2 minutes. It's a long way out, and he's chipped it over. A lovely time and lovely stroke. Never looked like missing, and a very good start for the Fijians.
Yep, Vola with the kick. Hogg to kick off. Taken just inside their 22. You got Yato was there, Mata looking for the ball. The big men lining up to the left. Fiji keep it. Playing dangerously through Vola sends it wide. This is the runner, this is the boy, RADRADRA. He's got amazing gas. Little kick ahead, was that the right option? Back goes Seymour, try to save it. Fiji almost there, 3 white jerseys over the Scots. Okay, and the Scots had to scramble. Laidlaw digs it out. They go right, sharp right to Wilson. Wilson side to Ritchie. Great game already. Scotland in blue, giving it up inside. The bigger man, Fagerson. Fagerson lays it off. Fiji white jerseys spread across the pitch. Already the surprise, 3-0 up. The penalty. And Laidlaw just kicks it gently to touch.
Yeah, he's looking to get that off the field as Greg Laidlaw. A wonderful counter-attack from the Fijians. There's the leadership there that Greg Laidlaw brings. He knows Scotland are stressed, and he knows it's important to get that ball in the field. Watch this pass from Vola here. It's RADRADRA that gets on the outside of Alexton Barr, and then Gunova, the number 11, he comes back in field. And Lamani thinks he's on the outside, and he puts a chip through, but
back 10.
Maybe look to go to the left there, and Gunova stay to the left. A wonderful attack from the Fijians.
And there's the weakness maybe in their Fijian play. Read by the Scots. Thrown, I think, to Nakarawa in the middle. Ritchie takes it up. Laidlaw at the heels. Looks up. He's got Fagerson heading to his left.
Use it 9.
The 2 big second row boys come and join the ruck. Finn Russell drops back. Laidlaw just with that tempting kick onto Gonova. Seymour does well, knocks it back. Laidlaw again. The blue jerseys, whoa, absolute smashing tackle from Wakani Boruto. The big number 6. Round the corner comes Saulo. Not out their own half yet. Russell kicks again. In behind this other flying winger, Talebula from Bayonne. And he lets it run. It'll be a drop kick. And that's what they've got, isn't it, Chris? They've got oodle. I mean, that RADRADRA break. They've got oodles of pace.
Oh, Vola almost looking to take it quickly there, Greg Laidlaw alive. Yes, RADRADRA played. It was one of the best performances in a Barbarian shirt I've ever seen against England Twickenham last year. An incredible player, so dangerous. But you can see Scotland's tactics there. Greg Laidlaw kicked high. Tommy Seymour did well to win the ball back, and after 1 or 2 more phases, there was no ground made. Finn Russell puts boot to ball as well. Scotland are trying to play a territory game, but it's dangerous against Fiji.
Well, as you say, they're going to kick it away in the hope of there's the tackling. Fagerson gets walloped as well. Mata is looks like a counter ruck. Fijians get the penalty. That is traditionally where they're poor at ruck time, but that's the tackling and then the ferocity at breakdown.
Well, it's the same penalty as the first one. Handling on the floor for Peter Horn. I think I think Basile Yato actually lost his feet over the top of the ball, but I think it was deemed that the ball didn't come out. And then Peter Horn, he can't play with it when he's off his feet on the floor. If you watch Yato, number 7, he's cleared out there and he's on the wrong side, but he can't get out of there. And Peter Horn's penalised for handling the floor. They both shouldn't be there, and you certainly can't use your hands.
Fair play to Fiji. Causing Scotland all manner of problems.
Was good, and 12 went straight off his feet.
Andrew Bray saying the counter-attack was good. It was just unfortunate that the clear-out landed behind the ball. Nothing the players can do about that, but Peter Horn shouldn't be playing at that with his hands, and you can see the discipline that the Fijian side have under defence. They then kicked long from that 22, 2 or 3 phases from Scotland was just met with really physical, hard tackles from the Fijians that allowed them then to apply pressure on the ruck.
There's a hush all round the ground. I don't think spectators can quite believe what they're seeing. Fiji 3 points up. Scotland a little bit pedestrian. And Vola kicks, it's gone wide. And that's a bit of a let-off from what is normally a good kicker.
Yeah, just maybe towards the end of his range there, Ben Vola, and maybe tried to give it a little bit too much, but he's already had an influence in this game. You see his distribution from that lovely long pass, and his first points off the tee. He'll be a crucial figure as we move through this afternoon. There's another one on your screen, Stuart Hogg, getting to get his hands in the ball and attack. We'll see what he can do.
You're good at the tactics. You think Scotland are trying to kick a little bit more, just get the ball in behind them.
Initially it looked like that, didn't it?
Yeah.
It might be, you know, as a result of how strong the Fijian defence is, and there's a turnover there for Scotland to play off.
Yeah, crazy offload from Kwanari Bhutto. This is Stuart Hogg. Hogg takes it. Amazing, he's only had an operation a couple of months ago. Laidlaw has. Looks up, finds Nell. Nell spreads it wide. The extra pass, slight change in the way Scotland are playing. Gilchrist.
Stepped away, no,
onto the halfway line looking for the interception. They tried to read it. Penalty coming Scotland's way. That looked a little bit offside.
Offside, 14 offside.
Yeah, Talibula is offside. It's a tactic as well. Within that phase, I think there was 3 Fijian players. One of them was certainly Big Bill Mata, flying out the line on his own. He tried to get to Grant Gilchrist, but Grant Gilchrist did really well to hit the space just inside that. And then Talibula flying up to try and get Stuart Hogg, I think it was, man and ball, but he was just ahead of the ball and he was just offside.
Hogg with a good dink.
There's Talibula, top of your screen. You'll just see the ball's out, just a fraction of a second too soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's offside. It's not much in it.
Open up.
The offside, it's not when the scrum half's hands touches the ball, it's when Greg Laidlaw, scrum half, lifts the ball. That's the moment that you can advance forward.
Thrown in by Brown. Scots have it. And this will be one of the areas they'll be thinking they have an advantage, the maul, but the Fijians drive with them to the touchline. Scotland just ramp up the drive. They go down that 5-metre line. Again, it's Laidlaw to the forwards. Forward, you can hear the crowd enjoying this now. Laidlaw calls for them round the corner. Penalty advantage. Richie blasts in. He's had a good season. Again, Nell, one-pass game. He's hammered back though by Vatabua, the centre from post. Still playing advantage, intercepted, but it'll all come back. Goneva was gone.
Goneva, they're sharp, the Fijians, but Scotland playing a percentage game there. Don't forget that the only try they scored in Cardiff last week came from that driving maul, and it was similar there. Fraser Brown this week sheared down the front, got in behind after a really good set up with the maul, and then it was all about the big forwards taking the direct route. But I must say, it was Willem Nell who was hit hard by Vatabua, the Fijian 12, who dislodged the ball. A terrific tackle from the inside centre, but the penalty offence had already been committed.
Good on the line, guys.
Still losing. If you're watching in Fiji, a team playing really well. Scotland have. And they have it at the back. They'll just settle down. And they move inexorably towards the line. Fraser Brown, that's once, says the ref. Looks as though Laidlaw's getting it. He has Russell. Russell skips in. No, that's not Russell. Is that Maitland off the left wing? Inches away for Scotland. Pick and go. Another pick and go defended by the Fijians. They go around that left side. Wilson stands to the right. And this could be another one, almost there. Scotland just inches away. Pick and go again, it's a try, says the referee, Allan Dell. What a game he's had already. Allan Dell with the try. The pick and go, the line out, straight off the coaching book.
Yeah, it came from the penalty. 2 penalties in quick succession against Scotland. Field position and the ability to launch and maul. It was another good maul from Scotland. They worked hard to get closer to the line. Sam Skinner in his debut almost got there. Fraser Brown had a chance. Here it is over the top, but he was repelled. And then as it comes back this way, watch Allan Dell, number 1, gets himself back on side. That's the carry from Skinner, inches short. And Allan Dell just picks up, gets lower than Leone Nakarawa and scores. It's just the body height, isn't it? Low and hard down the line. There's no way of stopping that. It's a good reward for Allan Dell. A lot of good work done in the tight. so far from Scotland. It's the first try of the afternoon.
Greg Laidlaw then on that left-hand side. Such a dependable player, Laidlaw, making it in France, and he kicks it, and he does incredibly well. And all of a sudden, from a little bit of panic at 3-0, it's Scotland 7, Fiji 3. Great game already.
It is. It's got that, the buzz. It's got a buzz. The Fijians bring that buzz and the discipline you need in your performance, and that try there is a result of good Scottish discipline, winning the penalties, being accurate in the throw and the drive, not trying anything too wild.
Which the Fijians did. Crazy offload, lost them.
Yeah, well, they turned over the possession up the field,
Taken by Skinner, Sam Skinner. His grandfather was the parish minister in Ayr way back when. Gilchrist with the ball. Laidlaw again just gets his right foot back, gives it to Hogg. Hogg sends it long to Tuithuvu. Tuithuvu looks up inside, has Vola Vola. And Vola Vola kicks it right and being chased by RADRADRA. But taken by Finn Russell, he's wrapped in an embracing tackle. In comes Waikani Baruto, big number 6 and captain. Again, Nell, extra pass from last weekend, isn't it? Much wider ball. Out to Seymour. Seymour kicks ahead. He still has. Oh, he's in touch. Great play, but it'll be called back. The whistle's gone. Good enterprise.
It's very good. I think it was. I'm not sure if it was forward pass or in touch. It didn't look in touch. It's Andrew Bray saying that last pass was forward, but good play by Scotland and a really good piece of skill by Tommy Seymour. Albeit just after a forward pass. There's Sam Skinner out in the white channels to Ryan Wilson, and that's a pass there that's judged to go forward. Have a look, but it's an example of the interchangeable abilities of the forwards and backs. Sam Skinner, second row forward, opted not to carry, to tip on to Ryan Wilson, who then delivers a pass. It just drifted forward. That's it, the multi-skilled approach the players have in the modern game.
Also a bit of bravery to change the way you play, because last week against Wales it was 9 long pass to 3 forwards, pass to a couple of forwards. This is another pass on, move the target.
You have to make a decision based on what's in front of you in that moment, and nothing else can determine how you played last week or what you're expecting to see. You have to react to what you see. Fiji were close, they were tight there as defence, and Scotland got to the outside.
Vola Vola, longer ball. Oh, good piece of defending. Good piece of defending. In came Maitland, chase ahead. It's going all the way back. It'll be touchdown if this is sensible. It is indeed. Good defence. Good defence.
Again, an expressive back move from Fiji, trying to get in the play. Good solid scrum actually, and Vola Vola's pass, trying to get the hands on that danger man, RADRADRA. He's trying to free Gunova on the inside. Good tackle by Sean Maitland. Alex Dunbar got his boot to ball. Stuart Hogg was flying on the outside, but Vola Vola tidies up. It's a 22.
Ferguson does, he makes his ground. Again, the Fijians flying out. Russell into Seymour. Seymour almost up to the 10-metre line. Gilchrist wants, he's lined up by Nakarawa. Better play by Scotland. Brown with that left hand up. Gets it, keeps it.
White move!
Hammers into some white defenders. Russell wants it this time. Goes to him, right to left. Russell, a couple of dummy moves. Horn round the back. Peter Horn keeping that momentum going.
Good.
Laidlaw with it again. Ferguson back in the routine. This whole thing with Scotland is just to keep the whole thing moving along. Skinner had it read. He was hit, but Ritchie did well. To Seymour. Seymour keeping the ball alive. Ritchie's had a good game too. Young Jamie Ritchie, the Edinburgh player. Inside to Wilson. Wilson will always give his best. Hand off to Laidlaw. Short the ball to Russell. Russell with the offload to Nell. It's almost like basketball.
Scotland applying pressure, not only through the sleight of hand as Stuart Hogg gets it in the left-hand channel.
Hogg with the breakout to Dunbar. Dunbar, big, strong, left-hand as a fender. In come the blue jerseys for the ruck. They look up. That's Fagerson again. He's been everywhere already. Young Matt Fagerson to Laidlaw. Laidlaw, longer ball, slightly loose. Horn's got a bit of magic in his toes if he wants it. There he goes, springing through. Peter Horn. Ooh, the pass was on. Oh, Peter, the pass was on. Great break. Absolutely smashed. It could still be the try. Scotland just inches away. Wilson thinking. He's there. Nell picks and goes. Dell is there too. Finn Russell is there too. They've all gathered round. They're going to go pick and go until something opens up. Fiji, that white line, defending. You can hear the chants of Scotland. It's inexorable. It's predictable. It is actually very organised, and it's a second try.
Fraser Brown, I think.
This time by Fraser Brown. So, front row union. Dell and Brown.
Well, that try had
That shows
everything.
you what happens, eh? You just keep going when you pick and go.
Had everything, that try. Scotland worked so hard off the ball, and it was 15 phases at least where they moved the ball from left to right. Everybody working hard to get into the structure, making good decisions with the ball at the line, and eventually once you got closer to that line, the attack narrowed up and they went direct at Fraser Brown, who got a wonderful break by Peter Horn in the lead up. He was hit so hard by Tuihuvu. We would have tried saving tackle. That's the end of it. Fraser Brown driving on low to the ground, again getting underneath the Fijian defence and scoring Scotland's second try.
Do you know what's making the difference? I've got the statistics in front of me.
I just need time, Gracie. I need time.
82% possession to Scotland. 82%.
I think that the referee Andrew Brace is going to have a check.
They're having a look at the try. I think they're all talking. I think we're looking at a TMO.
I wondered if Peter Horn actually made the line initially, but
if he's got something different.
Right, okay, I think
TMO, check.
The TMO is going to check for the grounding of the try. So we'll all see this, you can make your minds up at home.
I just need to check. The ball has bounced, but I don't know where it has bounced in relation to the goal line. So let's take our time and just do a quick check. On-field decision try.
So the on-field decision is a try.
Checking the ground in, is it?
And they're just going to check. Have a look at Fenskin saying it bounced. That's a try for me, as long as he's reached the line. Another look at it. We didn't see many disagreement from the players, which is also a telltale sign as well.
Yeah, I mean that looks to be, we can't see where the button line is in relation to the ball, but
so look at Andrew Brace's positions right there as well.
We have a decision.
Yeah, go ahead.
Looks a try.
Go ahead, Ben.
You may award the try.
Okay. He was already on the line, Captain. He was already on the line.
Yeah. The try is given. The try has been awarded. Andrew Brace's decision was right on the field. I'm not sure we needed that extra look there. Fraser Brown looks a little bit puzzled as well. There's reward for working hard off the ball, getting your structures right. There's over 15 phases of attack from Scotland, and got the reward of their second try.
Yeah, it's 82-83% possession. And Greg Laidlaw with this kick right to left, and again he's got that gentleness to the way he kicks the ball. He just floats it. There's no great urgency, no great rush. You were the same. There's no great need to smash the ball through. Just stroke it between the posts.
Yeah, it's flying practice. He looks really comfortable and confident. Fraser Brown scoring there. He's had a big impact so far. This is Peter Horn's brilliant. And there's the moment where he has to pass, but look at that tackle from Tuihuvu. I actually thought, and I was wrong, Peter Horn almost made the line. What a tackle. They should have passed to Seymour, but Scotland got the points afterwards.
Taken by Skinner. Sam Skinner of the Exeter Chiefs to Gilchrist. Yeah, 83% possession.
Hold
And
three.
Hogg just says, let's calm this down, get the ball into Dutch.
Another example of getting the ball off the field, isn't it? Sometimes you go in with a strategy of kicking long in order to force a counter-attack.
Man, guys.
That time off the field, and they're going to try. Scotland are going to try and apply pressure. The set piece. They did well in the first line against Fiji. I think it was Grant Gilchrist and Skinner got up to disrupt it. Fiji will be looking to launch an attack only 30 metres out from the Scottish line.
Okay, so you have 6 in the line. Okay, receiver here, 6. Yeah. Good then.
Well, all these teams will have done their line-out homework. Skinner's at the front. Nakarawa comes back. Oh, it's red again, but Nakarawa just gets the pass into Matavesi of the Cornish Pirates round the corner. The big Fijians come up. Taken by Nakarawa, I think. He's bundled back. No offload this time. Fiji looking to get the ball.
Blue move!
And they take it on. And it's going to be Vola in receipt. Shorter ball at the back to Vatambua. And he just kicks the ball away. I mean, the good defence by Scotland. They're not getting Fiji much room.
Yeah, they put pressure against the line out. Sam Skinner did really well to adjust to where he was, got back and got a hand to disrupt the delivery from Nakarawa to Lamani, and then that man, Vatambua, decided after not making a lot of ground, not getting in behind the Scottish defence, they put the kick through.
Okay.
I think it's Talabula on the far side. Is it Talabula? It's Tuithavu.
No, it's Tuithavu, yeah. Of Claremont, ASM Claremont Auvergne. Really impressive highlights reel on YouTube. Flyer, strong. And looks like an ankle injury. Doesn't look happy.
Okay, guys, what's the decision? We're playing on? Okay.
Yeah, it'd be such a shame in his first
Fiji
cap.
on the line, water off.
If he had to go off so early, he's going to try and
water off, please.
Get on John McKeel. We're happy with the initial start, but since the missed penalty, really after
Don't
about
walk in, same for you.
5 minutes, already 3-0 up. Scotland wrestled back control. They've scored 2 tries. And McKeel will be frustrated with the lack of possession the Fijians have had.
Fraser Brown, it's a bit of a mess up at the back and it's blasted on over the offload. That is glorious piece of action. What a try! That is Viliami Mata. He plays for Edinburgh. He signed here, he wanted to go home, he didn't like it, but what a score. Absolutely blasted his way over. I think it's Mata. What a score.
Bill Mata with a try. An incredible piece of offload the belly from Vasily Yato. Vasily Yato is the man we highlighted before the game. Watch as he reads the overthrow right over the tail. And then the offload in the angle of Bill Mata. That's the offload from Vasily Yato. And then Bill Mata still has a lot to do. He moves his body weight from right to left to the outside of Stuart Hogg, and he gets the try underneath the post.
This is worth watching just for simplicity, isn't it? The blast
that's Vasily Yato.
Yato.
Look at the power, then the one-handed offload, the shift of body weight right to left from big Bill Mata, and the finish. So athletic, so powerful, and Fiji strike back.
It's great to watch. Gold medal winner at the Rio Olympics. Mata came here, didn't like it, wanted to go home, couldn't understand why it was dark at 8 in the morning and 4 in the evening, and he's just signed on for another couple of years. Kick by Vola. Fiji back in the game.
Yeah, 14 points to 10. Bill Mata is such an incredible season. Got 18 months, really more than the season with Edinburgh Rugby. This is his home ground, don't forget. And he celebrates with a try for his country. But that offload from Vasily Yato was something special. It maybe looked as if it drifted forward a little bit, but take nothing away from the skill and the angle ran by Bill Mata. And unfortunately for Tuithavu, he's had to go off to that ankle injury, and he's replaced by Irone Vasiteri in that fullback jersey.
Okay, Blue, you've lost. White is there, yeah.
And Vasiteri plays in Provence. Again, the Fijians, a clever bit of movement here, they're chancing everything, good tackling though. And still they have Fiji living dangerously in their own 22, but they can carry like very few other teams. Scotland desperate to slow it down.
Yeah.
Again, the big men in white shouting to each other, give me a block. Back to Vola, who clears it away to touch, and Finn Russell will take, and he's in no hurry. That try was a thing of beauty, wasn't it?
Well, it came from a Scotland mistake. It came from a Scotland mistake, but it just shows you how dangerous the Fijians are and how much individual talent and ability they have.
There he is.
He has been.
He's the top ball carrier in the Pro 14.
Okay. He's been nothing short of phenomenal this year, and the domestic, the Pro 14, and in Europe. And it's such a coup for Edinburgh Rugby to retain his services as a world star.
One don't change.
We were hearing earlier that most of the clubs in France are after him now, but this is where Scotland maybe have an advantage. This set-piece play.
Once, he's never changed.
Fraser Brown was through the other side. He had it.
Ball is there. Leave it
Skinner
now,
to
Leave it.
protect.
Leave it.
It's good defence.
Yeah.
By Fiji there, John, to stop that maul, and then back on their feet, look at the defensive line, ready to come up and make the next tackle.
Ritchie's carried well. Peter Horn up rucking with Skinner. Laidlaw just testing the defence, saying you might tackle, but we'll run at you anyway. Laidlaw again to his right this time to Brown. Brown with a little flick.
Advantage.
Russell was being lined up for the big one, Mata with a loose ball. You don't want to get caught, do you? You know, dillying.
No.
You can get your kidneys. Well, as
Certainly
you would
not.
know, you can hurt your kidneys in rugby.
Yeah, certainly not. That was really good, clever play by Leone Nakarawa. He knew that system. He knew that path was going, and he plays with Finn Russell in Paris. He played with him in Glasgow, and I think he read that situation, knowing that maybe not 100% knowing the ball was going to be passed out the back to Finn Russell. But that's I suppose an example of just thinking on the spot, reacting to what you see, and having the physicality and the presence to fire through and cause the damage.
Yeah.
Pisi Mafu,
Yeah.
just getting at his back. He was hit hard in the maul.
He was.
Really good maul defence by Fiji. Scotland had a lot of success. Obviously, 2 tries have I suppose, originated in mauls so far this afternoon. But that time, the Fijian forwards really did muscle up and stop the maul and frustrate Scotland.
You speak to Gregor a lot.
Hey, water off, please.
What's he saying?
Well, I think he'll be very happy with the good bits. So when Scotland have built a number of phases and manipulated the Fijian defence and found their shape and worked hard off the ball, they'll be very happy. He won't be happy with the start, and he certainly won't be happy with the fact that Fiji's try came from a Scottish error. He'll respect, and he's spoken all week about how dangerous
really good first
the individuals and the Fijian players are. And he's expecting a tough game. It's 7th versus 10th in the world rankings. And of course, Fiji won the last game against Scotland in Suva almost 18 months ago, 27-22. And John McKee, the Fijian coach, said then that it was an un-Fijian-like performance. They controlled the possession, they controlled the ball. They won, I think, obviously one score in it, and they managed the last 20 minutes of the game. So they've got that part of the game as well as all the sparkling attack they bring.
Don't step back. Okay, don't step back. Let's go again. Okay, let's go again. Okay, 3. Are we happy here?
Get a smile.
Okay, let's go.
Look at that.
This is your bread and butter.
Hello. See you afterwards.
Don't be passive. Don't push past the mark.
It is still the game, without being daft. It is still the game with mutual respect, isn't it? That's what rugby is.
Absolutely.
Play your international opponent afterwards. Even during the game, you chat, but you're there to win.
Set.
Fiji then. They go right, and they've got bags of gas should they want it. And there's one example. I think that was Vatambua out on that right wing on a big outside break, and they're just trucking up now, this time with Thambum Bati, Newcastle Falcons number 4. Big rangy player.
Fine.
Oh, right through when Nakarawa, little brave offload. Taken this time by the scrum half, Lomani. Lomani's up over the 22. Great piece of play by the Fijians. Couple of Scots offside. They go wide. They go wide. Oh, they're breaking through. Incredible. RADRADRA. Oh, incredible. Absolutely brilliant play by the Fijians. They are shining a wee light here at Murrayfield. What another score that was.
That's a world-class try. It started from the scrum in the midfield, and they went right, and then they came left, and some of the individual brilliance. RADRADRA with the line and the pass for this try. Just watch, Lomani eventually gets this back. That's Leone Nakarawa goes through. The ball's palmed down, but Lomani, the scrum half, realises that's play on. Wonderful tackle here from Peter Horn, but Fiji react quickly. The ball's presented quickly. I thought this pass here from Volleyball was a wee bit long, but Kuyavati takes it through the space. Look at the line by RADRADRA. He just recognises where the space is, changes his angle, comes in and finishes off. This pass was in there a long time, but That's just individual brilliance between Thuivati and RADRADRA, and they really deserve that try. It's a world-class score from the Fijians.
Do you know, you've got to commentate like neutrals, and the two Scottish tries have been short-range blast over the line. The two Fijian tries are big men flying through gaps, offloading. Two good tries. Fiji in the lead.
Quick ball.
Quick ball.
If
long passes.
If you can get quick ball, you stress the defence, and then the natural ability and the attacking brilliance of the Fijian players has come to the fore.
Vola Vola. 2 more points. We have a game. We have a game at Murrayfield. Fiji, in fact, are happy, as they deserve to be. Let's watch this again.
So many good parts to this attack. That's the end of it, the long pass. Defend as well as the movement outside and ALLAN DELL. And that change of angle from RADRADRA. He knows that the defence are sliding over. He gets in behind. Just having the ability to read what's happening. The fact that Thuivati was going to beat the man, was going to find space. Really good play, and that's a fantastic take from the kick.
Brilliant take from Nakarawa. He was a revelation playing in Scotland, Nakarawa. One of the great men. One of the great men to speak to too. Turnover. Scotland have. Yeah, and that's Josh Strauss on. Russell is lined up by Vasiteri. Scotland still have. Laidlaw looks up, looks for Strauss. And it's a penalty.
You're off your feet and you played the ball.
It's consistency again. Consistency from Andrew Brace off the feet, playing the ball. 3 of those penalties, 2 against Scotland, 1 now against Fiji. And Scotland are looking to try and bring some tempo. Stuart Hogg popping the ball into touch as quick as possible. Another look at Tommy Seymour steps inside. The initial tackle's okay from Vatabua, and then there's RADRADRA off his feet. He has to let go of that possession. Good consistency from Andrew Brace.
Fraser Brown. He'll look up, he'll see a whole forest of blue jerseys, but there's a forest of white jerseys too. They don't look as though they want to compete yet.
Why did you walk off? No, step.
Josh Strauss is on. I think we're hearing for a
good as air now. 1 metre.
Head knock for Matt Ferguson. Taken well by Gilchrist. Fijians drive them back.
Don't change it. Once.
Fraser Brown has, that's once. Now there's the forward movement. The blue jerseys. They're moving forward. Fijian pack trying to defend, as are some of the backs. And they're holding up. Nakarawa is holding up Fraser Brown. But it's going to be a penalty advantage to Scotland coming in from offside. And they're up to the line. It'll be hard to get the ball down if they can, but driving forward all. No. Is it a penalty? It's a penalty.
5 entry.
Number 5, Leone Nakarawa, been penalised there. Initially really well defended by Fiji. Scotland kept their patience and managed to get the ball crabbing forward towards the line, and then that was the moment where the desperation came in. Nakarawa came in from his near side. I think it was there as he has to go back behind his own feet and come back. Greg Laidlaw pointing it out to the assistant referee. I'm not sure he needed it pointed out. On that side, I think it's Carl Dixon on that side. Was it Luke Pearce? Sorry.
Good now.
And that was fed into Andrew Brace.
Shorter line out. Gilchrist again. Good take. Scotland drive. Brown at the back. Moving forward. Getting ever closer to that white line. Another penalty advantage. This could be a bit an issue. There'll be somebody sent off. Peter Holm wants it. Out wide to Russell. Russell with a little chip through for Seymour. Seymour chases back. It's touched down by Lamani. Penalty to Scotland. Referee not happy.
Second in this area. Number 4.
Favumbati is off for 10 minutes.
Well, it's an interesting 2 or 3 minutes.
No.
A wonderful outside break and pass for the try, for the Fijian second try. Then, unfortunately for him, he was the guy who spilled the ball from the kickoff, and then he's found himself penalised here. And he's going to spend 10 minutes in the bin. That's for collapsing the ball. Just after him, you see him in there, number 4, tackling the ball. You can't do that.
He's at the bottom of the ruck. You can see that number 4 jersey, and that's what the referee's not happy about. Here's another line out. 5 metres out. Goes long this time to Ritchie. He's held up long enough to get the drive on. Strauss is in there. It's been sacked, says the referee. Fraser Brown thinks. Fraser Brown goes right to left. Fend off with that right arm. Forwards in. Ryan Wilson. It's that pick and go in front of the post. Wilson's almost there. He's maybe half a metre short. Wilson wants it. Again, Brown picks and goes. He's looking left. He goes left. Fijians diving in low. Brown with a spin out. Another try to Scotland. Fraser Brown, second try. Short range, speciality, it's effective.
Well, all 3 of Scotland stands fairly similar. They've been originating from the line out, then into the line out ball, and then it's about discipline. Knowing he actually did really well earlier on in that play there, Fraser Brown. He was told to use it by Andrew Bass, the referee. He had to go on his own, but then he got support to him. He managed to stay on his feet, and this is the end of it, spinning round, being aware of where the line is, and scoring. And we've got another TMO check.
I think there might be a little check for was there obstruction in front of him. And we're hearing TMO wants to check. And it could be that Ritchie was in front. Let's listen to what they say. Here we go.
Just wondering how he goes in behind, is it?
Andrew, watching actions of
7 blue, is it?
That's correct.
Okay.
They're looking at Jamie Ritchie now. Jamie Ritchie was in front of him there.
There's nothing in that speed.
Now,
Director, can we go back, please?
wants to go further back. This is
And
the key bit.
slow-mo from here, please,
Here we go.
Director.
This is Ritchie's in front.
Does he? The question is, does he block the tackle being made? I think
the ball carrier there. Ben.
One more time, thank you, Director.
Okay, go ahead.
have another look at it. The question is whether Jamie Ritchie stops the tackle being made on the ball carrier.
So,
well, does he? Let's have a look.
There's no maul here. The actions of 7 blues standing in front creates obstruction.
Yeah, agreed.
There's no more. Says the TMO, there is no more. There was no opposition player, therefore there was no more. Therefore number 7's in front, obstructing. The fans don't like it. They need, like me, they need to read the
it's
rules.
clear obstruction. 7's gone in front.
Number 3's ran for the tackle, missed the tackle, and then he's just spun round the edge and scored the try.
No, but 7's gone clearly in front
not
for
wrapped
us.
his arms,
That's the
still
decision, Captain. Okay, 7's gone in front for us.
There's a man to my left, Chris Patterson,
Well,
with a face that's.
Well, I've got sympathy for
I agree with
Greg.
that. There was no more. 7 was in front.
But I don't think the person who made the tackle, number 3, I think it was at Saulu, who made the tackle anyway. I don't think he would have then affected what happened afterwards, because there was only one defender in there. And I think we'll see that situation time and time again.
Okay, relax, please.
I mean, so it's number 1. I don't see much in that. Campese Mafu,
Oh,
he was in the middle. He actually made his decision to hit who he hit, regardless of what Jamie Ritchie was doing at 7. But
I think the allegation is that there was no more, therefore Ritchie can't do that, whatever. Here's a little break, good play. This is a big Campese Mafu, Tongan dad.
Turnover's good.
Turnover ball by Scotland. They zip it wide. Dunbar lining up a few big men. Pete Horn's been pretty secure today. Again, it's these little extra passes this afternoon. Jamie Ritchie. That's a big Sam Skinner.
15!
Very
15.
impressive kick ahead by the second row. Longer ball. Maybe wasted possession unless this is messed up by Talibullah. You approve of that?
absolutely.
Second row is all right then. Maitland can run. He was talking about not looking forward to playing some of these big Fiji boys. Fraser Brown's coming on to becoming a really good player nowadays. Russell takes it right up to the gain line, bravely goes for the tackles. Gilchrist flaps it back. Scotland still have.
7, no!
And Yato being told to leave it. Gilchrist. It's been a really interesting game. on a whole load of different levels, hasn't it? Because it's been Scotland from close range, Fiji when they've got the ball looking good, still 68% possession for Scotland. So the Fijians have hardly had the ball.
Yeah, but it's a really close game, isn't it? It's really two different styles, contrasting styles in many ways. Here we see Scotland retaining possession, working hard, and they'll be trying to tire the Fijian defence down. Jamie Ritchie, who won the initial turnover, has been heavily involved again, carrying 5 phases now for Scotland. Keep the ball moving, but there's always that threat from Fiji.
Yep, that's that little extra play again.
No 5.
Fraser Brown it was with the carry, another penalty. The Fijian players are coming in too late and then tried. Crowd didn't like that tackle, but Finn Russell went straight ahead. It's going back for the penalty advantage.
Okay, just wait. Okay, just wait. High for you, Conor, yeah? Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to hear from Carl Dixon,
Captain.
I think. This is the
could be high.
The collision.
Oh,
yeah, that's a high tackle.
That's head.
It's Finn Russell. Yeah, that for me is a high tackle with force. Vatabua. It's just whether it catches Finn Russell.
PK only.
PK only.
And the chest first. And they've ruled penalty kick
PK only. Yep. You've got here Gregor over there. 2 penalties. Okay.
It's Talibula, man who's penalised 2 penalties, and interestingly Scotland are going to kick to the corner. It'd be good to have another look at that tackle.
And the interesting thing is if the shoulder hits the chin.
It's a
neck, hits the chin.
Neck, throat or head is deemed a red card.
Yep.
That is like a head nut. It was.
Time on.
Still 72% possession. Scotland were in their favourite bit of the pitch, taken by Wilson. Josh Strauss on the ball.
Okay,
back to Brown. And these mauls have been practiced. You can see they've been honed. Brown is almost all the way through. He's tackled though by Wakani Buruto. Again, these forwards like a pack of wasps. Nell's just thinking of going left. He goes right, or he goes through the middle, and is he over? Nell thinks everyone's advising the referee. It was knocked on, and then Ryan Wilson pops. And these things are so hard to follow.
Well, we've got to check. It looked like WP Nell lost control of possession. First glance, we'll see what Andrew Bass says.
Okay, time off, Ben.
Yes, Andrew.
My on-field decision's no try here because I have 3 lost the ball on the ground. Okay, I'm going to go back for the penalty.
Yeah,
6
lost
in the
control
side.
of that.
Unless you can tell me other.
Checking footage.
Tell me otherwise. He's not in control of the ball on the ground.
Thank you, Director, over decision.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Ben.
Stick with your on-field decision, Andrew.
No try.
Yeah, it's the right decision.
6.
WP Nell picked up.
Time's everyone.
They just lost control of possession as his tackle ball hit the ground. It almost bounced out of his grasp. Therefore, we weren't playing on a penalty advantage. It's another warning.
Already a player to the bin. Okay, we've got further 3. Just wait. Yeah, no, just wait. We've got further 3 penalties now. 2 high tackle. Okay, and then second man in the rock, and now 6 entry. Okay. I'm very prepared to put somebody else in the bin if this doesn't improve. Okay. All right, get the message across, please. 6 entry.
Fijians then.
This is an opportunity.
The risk of a second yellow card, and we could have guessed it was going for the 5-metre line out.
Yeah, the last drive was actually really well executed, and it was almost going too quickly, and Fraser Brown sheared off, went through. So I imagine we'll see the same again. A catch and drive.
Scots for a man up. Good. Back it comes. Brown wants it. They're moving forwards. After's got some good velocity on it this time. The Fijians struggling to defend it. Down it comes. Laidlaw wants. Nakarawa's miles offside. This will be another yellow card. This will be another yellow card.
No. It's just going sideways. Not for me. Okay. Put him down. You never change, but you're pulling them all down.
Okay. keep an eye on what's happening here.
Putting them all down now.
Scotland are maybe looking to go quite. It's Leone NAKARAWA who scored, who's shown the yellow card for pulling them all down. He was legal in his positioning because he came straight through them all, and I think that's his argument. It was his, I was in the right place, but because he went straight through, then pulled it down, and once it was down, he was still having a go at the ball with his hands. His position's fine. He's part of the initial maul there. He's not changed his lane. He's fighting. He's working hard. See the communication there, he's fine there, and then Andrew Brace has deemed that he's pulled that down. I'm not sure he's pulled it down, but he certainly hasn't let go when the mauls hit the ground. And it's 2 yellow cards now for Fiji, and they're up against it with 2 minutes to go, and it's come on their own 5 metre line.
You know, to look at it as neutrals, you'd have to say they've suffered from the referee's wrath a bit.
Well, it's a cumulative effect of penalties as well.
Yeah, Scotland playing kind of an old-fashioned way, which is bash up rugby, not the wide stuff.
Set.
Here we go then, 2 men down in the pack, 6-man scrummage, and it's utterly destroyed, and it's another penalty.
Clapson under pressure.
So Nakarawa's in the bin.
And
I didn't see Jan Mata, and I didn't see who went to second row.
It's just Wakane Bruto. It actually looks like
a winger. Looks like Talabula.
Talabula's
come in to wing forward.
Stay up when the pressure comes on.
7-man scrum. Talabula's in.
Wait for the ball. Wait for the ball.
Mata is.
Mata, so it was through Mata, so it was in the bin.
Yeah.
So it's both your original second rows. And I'd imagine Scotland will do exactly the same here.
They'll walk this.
Bind.
Well, you'd want to walk it. Let's watch this. It's been a really interesting first 40. Take it, and there's the grind on. Ryan Wilson controls at number 8, and everything's stood up.
It's a better scrum from Fiji.
Yep.
I can't continue because both are up.
Half a minute left.
Yes, it's not a penalty. It's a reset scrum this time. Fiji did really well.
Well, there'll be holes wide if they want to fake the push and then zip it left.
Is Greg's gone?
No. You're not on the mark, you're over here. And it's not a penalty anyway.
It's a reset scrum.
Okay, let's go, guys.
Yeah, it's such a difficult position to be in for Fiji. 2 men down in the scrum, but then
stay down under pressure.
You want to kind of defend against the original source or the initial source of possession, which is the scrum. But then if you put 2 backs into the scrum, there's so much more space created elsewhere. So
seconds.
There are only 4 backs defending, scrum half and 4 backs.
So there's 2 advantages for Scotland here, either numerically up front or numerically out the back.
Yep. There's the view. Good shot from the director. There's the view. And here we go. Scotland thinking of, well, what are they thinking? They're being told to use it. They'll have to go wide. Wilson to Laidlaw. Laidlaw at the back, and it's a long ball out to Seymour. It's a walk-in. The crowd love it. 13-man Fiji. Just not the match for a Scottish team that whacked it wide. Seymour with the try. Scotland going to the lead just before half-time.
A really good score from Scotland. Fiji did so well to dig in and resist the pushover score. Scotland were told to use it. Look at the setup here. It's 8-9, and then watch this pass from Finn Russell right over the top to the spare man, Tommy Seymour. He holds his width, and he gets his try in the right-hand corner. Good vision, good distribution from Finn Russell over the top again. There's nothing Fiji can do with 2 men in the bin. They have to leave the outside channel, and Tommy Seymour's delighted with a try just before half-time.
The game's on a knife edge. The bookies have Scotland to win by 16. Many people I've spoken to think that was optimistic. Fiji have played well. They haven't had the ball. 74% possession Scotland's way. Extra time. Greg Laidlaw trying to put another 2 points on this. That's a kick and a half from wee Greg Laidlaw. What do you make of the half?
Oh, it's been enthralling. We've had 3 tries from Scotland, 2 in the tight, 1 just before half-time for Tom Seymour out wide. Fiji have crafted 2 wonderful opportunities for them. Half-time, it's 21 points to Scotland, 7 to Fiji. We've had 2 yellow cards, 1 or 2 high shots, TMO decisions. We've had it all.
We all want to protect ourselves and our loved ones against coronavirus. And one of the best ways to do this is to keep washing our hands. Make sure you wash thoroughly and often with soap and water for 20 seconds, particularly when you get home. Use hand sanitizer if there's no soap and water available. By doing this, you will reduce the risk of catching and spreading the virus. Secondly, try and avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose and mouth. These are 2 of the best ways we can prevent infection, stop the virus and save lives.
So I'm no longer playing for the Scottish national side, but thanks to BT and Scottish Rugby, I'm able to virtually rejoin the Scotland national session during the Guinness Six Nations.
Let's start with some basic attacking play.
Oh, that's weird. It's good that I don't like heights, right?
Expect Hugh Jones to throw in a switch.
Henry, get across here.
Oh, that is weird.
Shut it off, George.
That's very lifelike. It's a little bit unnerving to start with, and actually understanding you can look around and stuff, but it's a very, very unusual experience, but really fascinating to be part of that.
Get ready to go in the whistle.
A rugby club is more than 15 players on the field. It's about a life better spent. A community mucking in together out of love for the local game. From kicking tees to cups of tea. Protecting the future of the game, making the stars of tomorrow. Royal Bank Rugby Force makes rugby life even better. We'll support over 75% of all qualifying clubs this season with tools, funding and expertise. Make sure your club is one of them. To apply, search Royal Bank Rugby Force and get started today.
Chris, it's been one of those games where it's ebbed and flowed, and Scotland have used the shorter route, and then just watching it again, Finn Russell with those big wide passes of his, they just unlock defences.
Yeah, it's not been consistent, if that makes sense. It has ebbed and flowed, but that's the nature of international rugby. With 2 quality sides, not really, but very often nowadays do you see one team dominating every facet of all game. As you already see, 1 or 2 handling errors from Fiji from the kick-off, which is a good start from Scotland. A good kick from Stuart Hogg. I think it was Bill Mata just couldn't quite secure the ball above his head. And we're going to start with the scrum.
The Fiji kick-off receipt is really poor. When they were playing Georgia, In the summer, that's the area they struggled in. They couldn't get their jumpers up. They could if it was just man on man, but even Georgia messed up their kickoff receipt.
And it's so crucial, as we see Theavata just coming back on. So Fiji made it up to 14, but in many ways, if Scotland could start with something in the second half, it would have been a scrum against the 30 men of Fiji. Now it's 14, it's still a good attacking opportunity. We'll see only 7 in the scrum, so it's a full back line for Fiji to defend. But Scotland are set up. Sean Maitland just behind Finn Russell, a light attacking threat there, and if the ball comes out, we'll see where it goes.
Thavun Bati's back on. Scotland with the drive. They're looking for the penalty. It comes out. The ref's giving them, I think, the advantage. Quicker, still advantage. Laidlaw looks up. He has Strauss, that human battering ram. That's what he does so well. They come on it again. Ryan Wilson this time. Still that one-pass game. Little flick in. Oh, Seymour yards to go. Delicate pass from Stuart Hogg. Scotland playing better. Dell makes that vital 2-3 meters. Laidlaw, shorter ball to Nell. Dell and Nell. Laidlaw again to Russell. Russell could flick it long to Peter Horn. Horn is dragged just a couple of meters short. Desperately trying to get it back. Gives it to Maitland. Maitland is over. Just that one-man advantage. Scotland playing what they play best. One pass game. Then the pass out the back from Finn Russell. Another try.
Yeah, it's a try early in the second half for Sean Maitland, and Scotland deserve that for their work rate up the ball. Almost every one of those phases was quick. They had options on the ball, options in around the ball, so Fiji couldn't get that dominant hit that we saw sometimes in the first half. There's the finish. Sean Maitland carrying the ball in two hands, get it tucked underneath his shoulder, and ends the pass from Finn Russell. Delayed run from Jamie Ritchie to Peter Horn, who does really well actually to present ball. He got turned the wrong way, and there it is, just that quick step back inside from Sean Maitland. Scotland worked that opportunity because they worked really hard off the ball.
You're right, aren't you? It's the quick ball that makes all the difference in rugby. Stuart Hogg was actually shouting to go right, it came left. Maitland went between the bodies. Here's Laidlaw. Greg Laidlaw again, just the way he kicks it, brings him success. It's 28-17, still the one-man advantage. You can see that one yellow card above that Fiji name. And Scotland looking a bit better after half-time.
Well, if you look 2 minutes short of half-time, Scotland are trailing 14-17, and then 2 minutes after half-time, they've jumped to 28-17 in the lead. That's a sign of a dangerous side, and one that's maybe just focused for that 2 or 3 minutes before and after half-time. And what's hurt Fiji is the discipline.
Vola, Strauss, calmly. And he doesn't mind whacking into a few Fijians. Fijians don't contest many of these rucks. Finn Russell being brave. Jamie Ritchie to Peter Horn, that left foot of his. Up over Talibullah, the Bayonne right winger's head. He's had a big injury. Just on his way back with Bayonne. Oh, bravery here from Vola. Vola over his 22. The Fijians gather. And these men can run. Look at the power. The offload off the ground. Again, it's Bill Matter, the Edinburgh player who scored that try. 3 forwards then. Dell in with the tackle. To Vola behind. And these runners, you've got Vatabua, Radradra. And look at the way they carry the ball. Radradra still going, is like a machine. Lomani shorter ball. Territory, you can almost feel the impact from here.
They never got back to onside.
You see Radradra there. Just it's almost elegant the way he runs, but it carries so much it carries so much power. Grant Gilchrist penalised for being offside there because of that inroads made by Radradra on the far side. See number 5 not getting fully behind the back feet before coming forward and making the collision. Apparently I think that's what Andrew Brace has given the offside for. Fraser Brown didn't really make clear release after the tackle either, but it's It's that man who's Grant Gilchrist who's penalised. You see, Fiji conceded 9 penalties, 9-4. Tells the story of itself as one of those guys who's penalised towards the end of the first half. Leone Nakarawa looks on. He's 2-3 minutes left in the sin bin. And it's interesting that that's probably one of the reasons why Fiji are lining up this goal kick.
It's a big kick. It's a full house.
His long range effort in the first half just miscued. Other than that, he struck the ball really, really well. Ben Volavola. As you say, John, it's a good 43, 44 metres out. Not much wind.
Volavola then, it looks high enough, it looks long enough, and it's just to the right of the posts. Fiji desperate to get Big Nakarawa back on the pitch. He's loitering with intent. He's about to come on. That'll be them back up to 15 men.
And that'll be a positive. That's a positive for Fiji, but a positive for Scotland and for Gregor Townsend. Was a number of points scored in that period where Fiji were down, and Scotland go quickly again.
Quickly taken. Pete Horn. Peter Horn, offload off the deck. Out to Dunbar. Dunbar into, lovely little sidestep from Alec Dunbar. Fijian from him. Good bit of running this time. And that was Skinner. So, I think he was taken high too. Skinner with a great break in his first cap. He's playing well. Finn Russell. Russell to Maitland. Maitland out to Hogg. It just went beyond Hogg. Horn again with that little short step that he's got. Scotland looking to get quicker ball. It comes back like a little metronome. That little layoff to DELL. DELL, who is dumped. Laidlaw. Looking for Seymour. Counter-rucking by Wakani Boruto. And Scotland still have slower ball. Give it to Ritchie. Ritchie to the hooker, Fraser Brown. DELL. Wakani Boruto launched into him. To Russell. Russell to Hogg. To Hogg this time. And counter-rucking by the Fijians. That was a good counter-ruck. Scots trying to get it over the ball.
Counter-ruck is good, but you lost the forward on the ground.
Yeah, just knocked on forward, but actually...
Counter-ruck was good, but you've lost the forward, 11, yeah.
Yeah, just not for that's a really good example of what the modern game's like. As soon as you break the line, a wonderful break by Sam Skinner. I mean, it was Alex Dunbar's footwork initially. I think it's Priscilla Yato. He managed to step, and then he got his hands free and fed Sam Skinner. But as soon as you get in behind, here it is. If you watch Alex Dunbar's footwork here, a last-minute step to the outside and hands free. Look at Sam Skinner running that offload channel. He played stand-off as a youngster, Sam Skinner, and you can see that it's hit pretty hard there. Still has the awareness to get the offload away. But if you play this ball quickly, which Scotland did, you're in control. Because this ball hits the turf, the then possession's slower, and as soon as the ball's slow, even after the line break, Fiji can set themselves and in control, and they eventually win the turnover.
That's a really interesting substitution, isn't it? Because Dunbar's just had a great break, and on comes Chris Harris, who can fly himself. Sevens player back in the day.
Very good defensively as well, Chris Harris. Hasn't had too many opportunities for Scotland, but he carries a lot of good club form for Newcastle Falcons. They have an opportunity here this afternoon.
Scotland with the ball. Scotland scrum under a bit of pressure, but they get the penalty.
Around the corner, one.
Yeah, wheeling by Campese. Mafu.
Straight around the corner, one.
Yeah, stepping out, we have to drive square. We get a good angle from on this side, just behind Andrew Brace, the referee. You can see Campese, Mafu stepping out to the left. And of course that creates a spin. He doesn't agree, but it was a call, and it's a good kick from Stuart Hogg. Mrs. Scrum penalties. Interesting as well, it was one area of the game that John McKee targeted this week, saying that it would have to be in control of the scrum and the line up front to set piece Fiji if they stood a chance of winning this afternoon.
Well, on comes Tawaki of Biarritz, and Scotland with the line out. They go to the front. back loose, but Strauss has it. Strauss tried to go around that front. Fijians have brought it down. Again, that pot of 3 forwards. Laidlaw looks up, has a whole raft of inviting hands. Dell's the first. Passes to the right this time, beats Strauss to Horn. Horn's everywhere. Laidlaw to Russell. Russell shot to Harris. Forwards regroup. They get it. There's those typical Townsend pattern of that pass from 9 to 3 forwards. Here we go. Russell this time. Will he spin something wider? Short flat ball to Dell. Dell's tackled. Laidlaw has groups of forwards either side. Gilchrist, that distinctive red cap. Laidlaw again, and it's the turnover ball. That was where they fell down a bit against Wales, wasn't it? The one pass game spotted by the defence, turned over.
Yeah, you just have to keep moving the target, and sometimes if you fall into that, I suppose, rhythm of always attacking quite close to the breakdown, it makes it easier for a defence to read. Don't get me wrong, there's some really good tackles and some real physical defence from Fiji. Nakarawa getting over and winning the turnover, the winning the penalty there. But when Scotland were successful just after half-time in the lead up to Sean Layton's try, there was a variety in where they attacked. Close to the ruck or wide, that there was just a little bit more prescribed, and Fiji were up to the task.
And there's the forecast, bang on. Rain, 10 degrees and rain. 74% possession to Scotland. And that's been the issue for the Fijians, hasn't it? They've really not had the ball.
In many ways, they don't need a lot of possession because they're so dangerous with what they have. So I think the set pieces that John McKee was targeting, and they'll be looking for more quality
straight.
there.
That one didn't look straight, but Vola gives it short. Ball spilled forward, and the Fijians have. It'll be a scrum to Scotland.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
And that encapsulates what we're talking about not having a lot of possession. As soon as you have a line that's won well, within a pass or 2 passes, you've turned over possession, and that's what frustrates the key, and that's what I suppose gives us the stats that you just mentioned in terms of possession.
McAnally comes on for his 20th cap. Converted back row player.
Same for you, okay?
Sometimes captain.
Both very good players, really good players. Both are very similar. Converted back row into hooker, have a big impact. Fraser Brownson really well, scored a try, could very well have had a second, and has been key to that line-out drive.
Well, Scotland have won 9 of their last 10 home games. The All Blacks in 2017, the only side to come away with a win in that time.
Let's go.
Fiji just the 3 wins from 56 away tests against Tier 1 nations. And that, I guess, is the scale of the task.
A quick look at the action areas and possession. The possession we've already spoken about, and the action areas. A lot of that's as a result of the ill-discipline from Fiji as well. It gives the opportunity for Scotland to find tough or find territory from the penalties and then launch an attack.
Use it, 8.
To Hogg. Hogg tries to go outside his man, outside Vatabua. Richie's there to defend. Something happened on the side that the crowd didn't like. Lovely little layoff. Skinner. Pretty impressive first cap from Skinner. Horn left foot. Maitland thought about chasing, backs off. Back goes Talibula. And was he in touch? He's kept it in field. Underneath it is Russell. Russell long spin pass to Wilson. Wilson ball in 2 hands now. The one hand beats a couple of tacklers. Gives it to McAnally. McAnally desperate to get it back his side. Russell with a sneaky little kick. Maitland's chasing. Maitland's chasing outside of Goneva. Goneva did well. Went back, fell down.
Away now, Blue.
The white jerseys are there.
Boys.
Lomani looks left. as Nakarawa is into his old teammate. Gilchrist is pulling him back, sensed he was going to go high. Fiji under pressure. There's the man RADRADRA. He's isolated. Scotland could turn this one over. Good ruck by the Fijians. It'd be a long way to attack from here.
I wouldn't bet against them.
No, they've kicked it away. Wilson just watches it.
An excellent kick as well.
Yeah.
I think it was a replacement of Vasateri. And here's Hogg, watches for a fend when he's on the inside centre, and then he eventually gets back and makes a challenge.
3-1.
The fans didn't like the fact that Stuart Hogg's legs were picked up.
Vatambrua, the pole player from France. As I said, 5 of the starting backs were from the top 14 in France. More substitutions. On comes Simon Bergen. Both props are off, so on come Alex Allen and Simon Bergen. The Edinburgh and Glasgow players, Jamie Ritchie's there, that's Bergen. And the lineouts have been crisp, haven't they? Fake around the front. A little bit from Maitland. Maitland offload to Horn. Horn all the way through. He's up. They're almost at the 5-metre line. Looking for quick ball. Fiji has slowed it down. Laidlaw has, looks out right, gives it to Russell. Russell thinks the little dink kick to Hogg. Hogg is there, does it bounce the right way? No, back goes RADRADRA.
We talk about RADRADRA's ability in attack and how casual and cool he is in attack and how dangerous he is, but he was pretty calm there, allowing the ball to bounce. I think he's carried it over his own line. This is the strike attack from the line. Well won by Gilchrist, and then a set-piece move where Sean Maitland comes back in that hole between the tail defender or the line out and the guard and the breakdown. Quick ball, Finn Russell scans for the space, knows it's in behind, finds it with a chip kick, something we saw last weekend down in Cardiff quite often. Really good kick and well covered by RADRADRA. Did he carry it back over? Yes, he did. It's a scrum for Scotland. It's a referee's view for that switch play. It's a brilliant insight into what it's like in the heat of the battle out there. And the movement of Sean Maitland just drifting from left to right to find that space. Good pass by Stuart McInally.
Good touch from Greg Laidlaw, just welcoming Matthew back to the fray. You're right, the traffic was busy, wasn't it? Not much space when you come flying in from blindside wing.
No, but they only need a little bit, don't they, now? These players nowadays, they're only sometimes not even looking for a gap, but you're looking for a shoulder or an arm to attack for the defender rather than the space. If it's so congested, you want to run at a weaker point, which is an arm rather than a shoulder or obviously straight into someone. And Sean Maitland found some space there.
Bind! Set! Stay there!
Greg Laidlaw just slightly squints. I don't think there's ever been a straight put in for the last 10 years. Laidlaw to Russell, Russell to Horn, Horn, ooh, Horn. Pete Horn beavering away. Laidlaw set move goes right, flash ball inside to Seamer. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Off the training ground, crash up left, go right, cut. Short ball, clever score.
Well, it's very similar to the attack we just saw off the line where you're bringing your blindside winger in. Really good solid scrum from Scotland, not looking for domination, just looking to keep it steady. There it is, rock steady. Great decision from Peter Horn not to give the pass to attack the sliding defence, and then Greg Laidlaw knows exactly what he's doing here. Brings in Tommy Seymour on that pre-called slice or that switch play, and Tommy does well to bash over close to the line for Scotland's 5th try.
That's a line and a half, isn't it? It's the out to in line. When the defenders are all sneaking out, you come flying back in.
It's a discipline to hold your line. When it's a pre-called move, you want to get there, you see the space, you want to get there too early. It's a discipline to hold until Greg Laidlaw has his hands in the ball, and then you can crash over. Good score from Scotland.
Well, Fiji at 15 men, Scotland dominating just now. Lots of time still to go. Laidlaw with 2 points. Do you know, I remember the days when it used to be 10,000 people would come and watch Fiji, or 20,000. This is a full stadium, and they're getting served up some Really clever tries.
Yeah, it's great to see the crowd really appreciate the support as well. Full house at BT Murray. Here's it. Look at Tommy Seymour almost biding his time, waiting. Greg Laidlaw pulls all the defenders onto me and then just slips it past his winger.
Set move?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Strauss carries. Laidlaw harries. Gilchrist thought and then just took those extra couple of yards. Mafu's off, Maui is on. Fijian base player.
Hold on.
Back to Vola. He's been quiet today. He's not done too much. To the right winger, Talembula, the Bayonne player. Somebody got smashed. This is Goneva. If he scores, he becomes Fijian's highest ever scorer. Lomani. And the Fijians have had very few sustained attacks. This is a turnover ball. I think it's Ritchie. If it's Ritchie, he is cementing a game of some quality today. It is. Jamie Ritchie for a young fella.
First arriving, holding on the ground.
He's very good.
You know, he's a, I don't know, he's fine, isn't he? Because he doesn't look as a huge man. He's 6'4"-ish.
He's a strong lad. Very good with the ball in hand. A great sidestep, comfortable attacker. But his point of difference for a long time coming up through the youth ranks was that ability to win turnovers and win penalties in a breakdown. I did it really well. I think it was Sam Skinner with initial low tackle who's had a fantastic game as well. And Jamie Ritchie, he got himself over the ball and won the penalty. And it's a great kick from Stuart Hogg to take us almost 10 metres from the Fijian line. Place warming up.
George Horn looks, Johnny Gray as well, looks, and I wonder if Adam Hastings will get a run. Russell in breath of fresh today, and they'll set move. Oh boy, that's another set move from the Townsend book. Another fake maul out to the right hand side, then left. And RADRADRA. The Fijians looking a bit disheartened here, Chris. Scotland have been defending well. They've been
Scotland's disciplined defence.
Do you think that's what it is?
It's really good. They're working hard as a line.
Under pressure. Scrum.
Fiji obviously they play with so much vigour and they're desperate for that half gap, that shoulder tackle to try and break through and offload. But Scotland's disciplined defence for most of the game, but especially in the second half, has been outstanding. It's not given any space to Fiji to try and attack.
Number 9.
This is a set piece move. It's another high shot. That one is fine. It's on the chest. Vasiteri hitting Chris Harris, and the ball spilled in contact.
6 and 9.
Well, they're making use of the bench that just as we watch Harris get smashed. On come Johnny Gray and George Horn, who is perpetual motion off goal. That pair, they played well, Wilson and Laidlaw.
A lot of experience. Greg Laidlaw and obviously Ryan Wilson. Greg can be proud of another quality performance. Hasn't missed a kick at goal, has kicked at the right time. He's such a composed leader. And there's exciting George Horn on. He made a good impact off the bench last week in Wales. And Sam Skinner, as he has moved into the back row, but Johnny Gray coming on.
Advantage. 17, Clapson. Number 17, feet too far back. Clapson.
It's Alex Allan that's penalised at scrum there. I think it's the first scrum penalty that's gone against Scotland.
Substitution for Fiji, leaving the field, number 9.
Henry still he's on the pitch. Hogg flying. He's like a jet sometimes to him, and Maitland. Loads of support for him. Given side to McAnally. Great play, play. This Harris, he's got Strauss outside him. Harris gives it out that right wing to Seymour. Oh boy! From left to right, Hogg started it. Seymour finished it. Scotland on a roll, flying through the hands, and they're enjoying the day, aren't they? This is a game that was at one stage not looking so bright, but some good performance.
That's a hat-trick for Tommy Seymour. It's his third try. His first came just before half-time. It's almost a 20-minute hat-trick, but it came from counter-attack. A missed touch from Vola from the penalty, and then Scotland just sparked with Stuart Hogg down the left-hand side. The ability to finish this try with the quality they've shown was excellent. Chris Harris does a really good job of attacking his space. He's running for real. He makes the Fijian defenders come on to him. Josh Strauss runs a decoy. The pass to Tommy Seymour, again, who holds his width and scores in the corner. It's Tommy Seymour's hat-trick in the afternoon. A really well-crafted and well-finished counter-attack move. Look at this tip pass from McAnally, the depth from Horn. This is really important from Chris Harris. Carries the ball in two hands, commits the defence, and Seymour scores.
Stuart Hogg to kick. Taken over from Laidlaw, and it's high. And he's missed it. He's pulled his left. 62, 63 minutes gone, 40 points. The prediction from the bookies was a 16-point margin. It's been a commanding display by Scotland. The floodlights are on. There's been a bit of rain. It's 10 degrees at Markfield, but on the pitch, a good deal hotter. Look at those beers lined up there.
Steady, John.
15 and 7. 7 and 15.
More changes for Fiji as well.
Okay, time's still on. Let's go.
As Pasila Yato being replaced, he is a menace. In around the breakdown, Karis Hard, a real star on the Fijian side.
They haven't really fired Fiji, have they?
In spells
they got despondent. They've made mistakes like that. The kickoff receipt's been bad. Harris takes. Scotland pounce. Scotland pounce. Horn. Russell thinks, I don't want to get smashed. Passes it on. Gives it to Gilchrist. The Fijians have never had the ball. 74% possession. They haven't had the ball. When they've had the ball, they've messed up their lineouts. They've messed up their moves.
Well, the first thing is discipline. They conceded too many penalties in the first half. Then their line out and the
two
scrum,
men in the bin.
Quite a few scrum penalties conceded as well. And then when they have turned the ball over, it's been quite early in the phases, so they've never been able to build a rhythm or build an attack. But we've seen with the turnover possession or reaction to some of Scotland's mistakes how dangerous they can be. But it'll be interesting to see what happens here. They've made a lot of changes in the front row and the pack. Can they get that cohesion to keep the ball for a number of phases to stress the Scottish defence? The Scottish defence in the second half especially has been really, really good.
Solid scrum, shorter ball. Again, Jamie Ritchie's in there over the ball. Forwards come round. Vatokani to Vatambua. No real smack from the Fijians at the moment. They need someone to get across this gain line. Scotland defending. Again, the shorter ball. Maybe that was the man. RADRADRA just got across the gain line. Better play now. Kunatani from Harlequins. Up to the Scottish 22. They go down that left-hand side. Little offload. Better play by the Fijians. Mata, he's been a revelation. Again, Seniloli, and knocked on, and that's where the mistakes have happened. And Scotland with the counter. Oh!
Okay, no advantage.
Pete Horn dusts himself off and gets up. I met him in the street, Peter Horn, when he was injured, and he said he still just loves playing the game. Here's the knock on.
Yeah, that's
Here's
frustrating.
The turnover.
Both of you guys.
It's frustrating from Fiji's point of view because
that
was
the tackle on Horn.
Your ribs are exposed when your hands are up there, but these lads get up, they get on with it. But Wakani Barotu will be frustrated because it was the first time really that, as we just said, that Fiji controlled possession and found a bit of space. Scotland's defence couldn't get a foothold to come forward and apply pressure. Bill Mata made yards, but then it was just the captain who dropped the pass in. I suppose just let Scotland off the hook. Peter Horn felt that, but these guys are tough to back up.
Tough boy.
You're getting ahead of me. Let's go again. You're getting ahead of me. Balance. Hold your weight. Let's go. Wait for the ball. Crouch! Set. 9.
Strauss to Horn, switching it from right to left. Peter Horn again, his bigger brother. Horn is, I think he's had a good game again, Pete Horn. To his brother then, that's George Horn. Long to Russell, Russell skipped it to Hogg. I was just thinking, Chris, maybe the way some of these players have moved, have moved just before contact.
Never an attempt to play the ball.
Has no attempt to play the ball.
That's not a genuine
just
attempt to go
before
for the ball.
contact, they move, don't they? And that negates the big hit.
And that's essential. As you say, having a look at this knock on, a deliberate knock on, as Dean going over. Wow, it's only a penalty for me. His hands moving upwards, but he's not in a realistic.
Yeah, we're playing on, guys.
Realistic position to take the ball, so it is a penalty. But you're right, that late movement is exactly what attacking players want to do. Defences are so strong and defenders are so good that if you run at someone, they'll tackle you, they'll hit you hard. If you run at a space and only run in one straight line, then it's very easy to read that late movement. You saw with Alex Dunbar doing it earlier on, and a lot of the forwards are particularly good at when they carry off the scrum half. It just gives you that little bit of time to try and attack the shoulder of the arm of the defender rather than the square on tackle.
Like 15, right now, over.
Sweet line out. Strauss. Oh, sit down, my friend, sit down. Strauss up to the 22. That is a battering ram of a run. This is quick ball again. Good tackling by the Fijians. Hogg has it. There's that ball being laid back on a plate. Quick possession. Horn wants, digs, looks, passes. Gilchrist skips inside one, elbows another one. Horn again, just disentangling his feet, gives it to Johnny Gray. Head down, batters into Mata. Again, the Scots have. Oh, looked like a high shot. Harris it was. Maitland on the outward bound, swerve to Hogg, to Ritchie. Horn rather, to Ritchie. Horn again, McAnally underneath the tackle, running low.
No hands! It's the wrong player.
Horn goes right.
No, they're not.
You can see as soon as the possession slowed down a wee bit, the defence can get set and come forward and make contacts. There's another late movement from Sam Skinner.
Again, it's that passing, the passing of the ball out wide to Seymour. Seymour makes the extra 2 or 3 meters, wasn't held. Horn. Great play this time from Alex Allan. Allan is there. Scotland desperate to get this ball away. Good defence by the Fijians.
Yeah, they react really quickly. The Fijians has another 10 metres for holding on to possession. As soon as the ball slowed down or the possession slowed down a little bit, it gives the defence the opportunity to get in position and almost become more dominant in the attack in many ways. There's a low tackle on Alex Allan there, and it's Bill Mata who gets himself over the ball. Great position, strong, can't be moved by Gilchrist or Ritchie this time. And they win the penalty. Good defence by Fiji.
Replacement for Fiji leaving the field, number 4.
Vola with a kick.
To be replaced by number 19.
Who's played well?
Scotland, number 12.
Well, for Scotland, I think Sam Skinner's been impressive. I think Peter Horn's been impressive. Obviously, Tommy Seymour's scored a hat-trick. And then, the Fijians, Bill Mata, I know we know him, but he's been one of the outstanding players for the Fijian as well. We'll see a couple of changes coming in the Scottish backline.
To be replaced by number 22.
I think Pete Horn just limping off, so Adam Hastings, the crowd love Adam Hastings. Well read. Again, that's Ritchie, was it? Flying out to make sure that Fijian attack didn't go where they want. Tui Sui. And again, that tackling is feverish. Senilole is at 9. Round the corner is Maui. Fiji struggling to get quick ball, but all they need is one line break out from Vola. Again, Scotland there in numbers. Funneling it, look at the red jerseys and the blue jerseys and the red hats. And Fiji again brought down Harris tackling. Senilole. Longer ball to Maui.
Away now. Yeah, stay there, stay there.
It's good pressure at the breakdown from Scotland. You can see that the Fijians still managed to find space.
This is Vatambua. Vatambua's brought to ground. He centre partnership and RADRADRA there to help him. They look up. Good speed off the line again from Richie.
Okay.
And Volavola. Gilchrist with the tackle, halfway line. 74% possession to Scotland. Fiji not over the halfway line yet. Just. Allan in.
Lost.
Seniloli. Same pattern. Nakarawa with the offload to Maui. And Fiji on a bit of a roll here. This is the spin out deep to RADRADRA. There he is. That's the pace he's got. He just tries to get it back inside. Good tackle again from Richie. Leone says the ref.
No.
This is their best. This is their best phase of attacking by a mile. This is Nakarawa. Looks wide. I think the Scottish players were waiting for him, and it's been a turnover. That's interesting how they attacked Nakarawa there, wasn't it? They didn't go low. They went high.
Well, I think you need to do both because he's so powerful. Somebody going low and then somebody trying to stop the offload or get in the offload channel. You know he's going to try and do it. Really good defence. Jamie Ritchie made 3 or 4 tackles in this section alone, and then as it comes out, it's Alex Allan who makes the tackle. Skinner on the outside, and the ball's knocked from his hand. Frustrating for Leone Nakarawa, but certainly the Glasgow players will have an idea of how to try and stop him. It's very difficult. Look at the tackles there. 115 made by Fiji. And Jamie Ritchie, the man who's we need a few of those as well. He's maybe 9 tackles. I think he's maybe made more than that, Jamie Ritchie. I see 14 missed for Scotland, 21 missed for Fiji. Not too many missed from Fiji. We know they've got a strong defence, but it's an attack that's let them down this afternoon.
In by Horn, he's got Hastings to his left. He goes right instead. He had Hogg. Hogg is there. Hogg steps on the gas. Tries to get the ball to Seymour. He does. Seymour is whacked high. Seymour keeps going. He goes to ground. Horn's there. Just a couple of people needed to win the ruck. Forwards are there. That I know I keep saying it, but it's the pot of 3 that all the countries use now. Harris. Little chip through. Fijian defenders scuttling back. Oh, it's going to be a knock on, and it could be a turnover. It's going to be a turnover. It'll be a scrum. Richie was right there too. Bit of a mistake this time from Waitokani.
Yeah, and that's a tactic we've seen more in the second half of that kick through. 2 or 3 really good kicks, but the chase is excellent as well. See, that'll be the 10th handling error from Fiji. Chris Harris and that man Jamie Ritchie there.
Everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere. He's quick, he's dynamic, a really good sevens player as well. But the kick, we've seen in the second half quite often down in this left-hand corner as well. I think Peter Horn had 1 or 2. Finn Russell's went to the right-hand side with a cross kick as well. So that's Scotland mixing up the attack, moving the target and chasing very well.
Point.
You're gonna help me, bro?
Yeah. Oh, this is both of you. Both of you. I just said it was really good. Let's get back to doing what we do well. Let's go. Come on.
5 minutes left in what's been a game of tries and open field play at Murrayfield. Floodlights shining a light on the game. Full house, as we've said. Next up it is South Africa.
Crouch.
But you feel there are a couple of tries left if they can just unpick this Fijian defence. Again, Horn. Horn looks to Maitland. Maitland comes in off his left wing. He's got Richie outside, and Richie spins up to that 5-metre line. The forwards fly around. It's wider though to Hastings. Adam Hastings, almost there. High shot, says the ref.
It's a penalty.
Penalty advantage. Horn thinks about it. George Horn, he's a half a foot short. The blue jerseys, they are absolutely rampant. The later this game is going on, somebody up there wants to score, don't they? Gilchrist, and Gilchrist a foot short. Horn wants it. Johnny Gray wants it. Allan wants it. And All someone needs to do is touch that ball at the bottom of that posting pad and there is a score. And he's done it. There's someone who knows their laws. I think it's Jamie Ritchie, is it?
It is.
Ritchie with a fitting last-ditch act of, well, intelligence. All you have to do is touch the ball at the bottom of the pad. And Jamie Ritchie with a score he richly deserves. I think he's had a great game.
He's had a terrific game. Jamie Ritchie has been so active, hasn't he, in the tackles and the carries. And he's got his first try for Scotland and his first start here at BT Murrayfield. He's a dynamic player, and he's got the awareness just to touch the pad at the bottom of the post pad and get the try. It came after more good work from Scotland forwards, really taking it to the Fijians. The Fijians are a tough nut to crack. There's the touch on the pad, at the base of the pad, on the line, and it's a try for Jamie Ritchie.
Good camera angle, good conversion, 47-17, 30-point margin. Scotland have exceeded all expectations here in a game they were tipped to win, but not this convincingly. It's been convincing.
Well, their second half has been outstanding. You can't really think of too many, other than the two phases that Fiji had. They've not had any other hold in this second half, and that's been because Scotland have played so well in the second 40 minutes.
Scotland 47, Fiji 17.
Oh, gives it to Hastings, the two youngsters. Hastings, confidence oozing out of every pore. ALLAN.
Onside.
Bergen.
Stay.
There is an organisation about Scotland, isn't there, under Townsend? That wasn't there before him.
Use it!
It's a disciplined performance as well.
Advantage, knock on.
Taken, it was by Maitland. Up from McAnally.
Yeah, perfect steal, but no advantage, lost forward in the air.
It's one of these games you don't want to end.
No advantage, lost forward.
Well, I tell you what, I think Chris Patterson, there is a man of the match that you have all chosen.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? We've spoken about Jamie Ritchie and how effective he was. Peter Horn, I thought, played tremendously well. Tommy Seymour scored a hat-trick. But there's a guy up front making his first cap, or winning his first cap, and Sam Skinner. He's been at the heart of everything. He's been part of the lineup, he's been part of them all. He had a kick and chase. He's made more metres than anyone else. Today's 10th man of the match on his debut at Scotland, Sam Skinner.
Well done to him from everybody, of course. Good to get your debut, good to get a win on your debut. 47-17, minute left. Sum it up, what's happened today? What have we watched?
We've seen a clinical second half, and a second half that I think they needed after a wonderful break by Finn Russell.
Oh, little blind look inside to Adam Hastings. Adam Hastings. Whoa. Adam Hastings started it. The little fake pass into the gap. A try of the utmost top quality to round off a win that was expected but not of this scale. Adam Hastings. He's got a surname that suggests confidence. He looks as though he's enjoying himself.
Jamie Ritchie's just got his first try for Scotland. Adam Hastings has joined them. Look at the smile. It's brought BT Murrayfield to its feet. The line that Finn Russell hit from that man's pass was phenomenal. Set piece attack. The soft hands, watch it here from Adam Hastings. Finn Russell runs at space and Adam Hastings doesn't give up. He fights, he calls, he shouts for the ball back. He's got 30 metres to go. And there's no better feeling when you're out in the field, when you know you're going to score, you run it in with a big smile. Brilliant attacking play. Look at it, the decoy on the pass, the trust that Finn Russell's going to run to the space, and then Finn does the right thing and pops it back in his inside. And look at his smile casting in. Sheer delight, sheer joy. Scotland's 8th try.